You know, I think to myself all the time, if only there was 4 more hours in the day, or if only I didn't need to sleep, then I could actually get everything done. And I think this is a common thought for mothers or just for people in general everywhere. Hi, I'm Nancy from Catholic Sprouts, and today we are going to talk about how you can actually find more time. And it doesn't have to do with sleeping less, and it doesn't have to do with magically discovering more hours. It's pretty simple. It does take some discipline, but it is totally possible. If you're new here to the Catholic Sprouts for Mom channel, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe so that you can pick up every new video once it's posted live. So let's talk about this. How do you actually find more time? Or better yet, how do you find time to do all those things that you don't seem to have time to do? Top of the list for most of us are praying, having a relationship with our husband, and taking care of ourselves. These are the 3 things that we seem to sort of let drop, especially when we're busy in the years of having babies and raising babies. There is a way though. It's not easy and it's not going to happen by itself, and we're going to talk about it today. So the first way that you seriously can find more time in your day is to get your priorities in order. It's amazing for many of us that lived very ordered lives before we became mothers, transform into someone that is just responding to whomever screams the loudest once the babies arrive. I know this totally happened to me. I spent my days answering other people's needs and failing to meet my own. I had to have a very direct sit down with a wonderful Catholic pediatrician just into my mothering years to understand that things were completely out of whack for me. Since that time, I've worked hard, failed sometimes, succeeded other times to get my priorities in order. Now, I use a simple little book that I put together for myself to make sure that each and every day I think about my priorities in the right way. I call it the Daily Docket for Catholic Mothers. And it's a book with the same page printed every single day, and it simply has areas for me to fill in so that I start my day with the most important priority, God. Start my day with prayer, write down what I discovered in prayer. Then I think about myself. What do I need to do to take care of myself so that I can actually take care of other people? Then think about my husband, because oftentimes we aren't going to think about him unless we have it in a schedule to do it. After husband is children, after children is our home, the chores around the home, the things that we need to do. That's when the to-do list comes in. I know, isn't it so easy to start with the to-do list and let that overrun our day and put things like laundry and dishes ahead of prayer time? It seems crazy, but that's how I lived for a long time, and it's so easy to live that way. And then only after our home do we think about things like our work, our community, and oftentimes our obligations to our community, our obligations to work can come as the first priority just because we allow ourselves to go there first. So I use this daily docket to make sure that each and every day my priorities are in order. I start with prayer, I take care of myself, I think of my husband, my children, my home, and then my work and my community. So number 1 step to finding more time, get those priorities in order. If you would like to grab a copy of the Daily Docket, I printed up a whole bunch of them and I'm offering for super cheap to people that would like one because I know what a game changer they are. And you can find the direct link to grab one of these books in the notes for this video. Now, the next trick or step to finding more time to get done important things in your life is to actually schedule your day. Now, I know that doesn't seem very exciting or sexy, and I was super resistant to this. I really was, because I am type B to the max. I don't love schedules, especially when I don't have to have one. And I would always use the excuse like, how am I supposed to live by a schedule while I'm raising babies? right? No one's going to put them on a schedule. Sure, they might generally nap at the same time every day eventually, but there's always going to be something that comes and ruins that. So having a schedule as a stay-at-home mom is difficult. It's something that we can easily say, that doesn't apply to me. But let me tell you, as an at-home parent, you need to establish a schedule for yourself more than anyone else, because no one else is going to do this for you. It's up to you. Now, what really changed my mind is a great book I'd like to recommend that you read too. It's called A Mother's Rule of Life. It's great. It's been around for a long time. I know lots of wonderful Catholic women have read it. It was recommended to me by a big group of them. And she's like us. She's type B. She was resistant to a schedule, but she forced herself to schedule her days to say, I pray here. We do homeschooling here. I don't homeschool, but I admire people that do. I spend time with my husband here. I have personal recharge time here. And just how it changed her life and allowed her to get bigger things done. Now that's the whole key, isn't it? When we have a chunk of time that we say, nope, this is my time. I'm going to actually start writing that book. I'm going to actually start illustrating like I wanted to, or I'm going to start cross-stitching stockings for my children, whatever it is, or I'm going to finally read that novel that I bought 3 years ago. When we actually say this hour, maybe it only comes around once a week, maybe it's every day. When we say this hour is for this purpose, it gives us the freedom to do it. So often I think, well, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not sure I can really take an hour. And so you don't ever start. Instead, you open Instagram, you're there for a while, someone hollers, and you go to their needs. Now I know you're still thinking, how do I establish a schedule when I have babies and toddlers that aren't going to be put onto a schedule? And yes, that is tricky. And yes, we need to be flexible. And yes, our schedule will be ruined, but we need to try. What I recommend is to, instead of thinking about maybe the dedicated hours of the day, think about the breaks that naturally occur during the day. During the newborn days, of course, things are bananas. Who knows what's going to happen? But eventually you do kind of find a schedule, a cycle with your family. The baby takes a morning and an afternoon nap. The toddlers take an afternoon nap. Once they get out of that, you, if you're like me, enforce an hour of quiet time. And so I usually have an hour of time to myself to count on every day. It's not gonna hit right at the top of the hour like I might like it to, but it does come. And so if I know at the beginning of the day that this hour, when it comes, I spend the first 15 minutes to pray my rosary, and the next 45 I have to work on my project, there's a lot of freedom in that. Then when I sit down to record a Catholic Sprouts podcast or a video for you, I don't feel guilty. I know that I have time to do the other work. I have given my children loving attention at other times in the day, and now I have time to do what I want to do. And so a schedule is not going to tie you down, believe me. A schedule will give you freedom. Now the third idea I want to present to you to help you really find more time in your day is this simple concept. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself first. Mom burnout is real. I've gotten so crabby with my kids when I haven't been taking care of myself. And not only my kids, with my husband. And not only with my husband, I get crabby with myself. I don't like who I am. I don't like this feelings of helplessness or like I'm not getting anything done. And so, my sisters, you need to take care of yourself first. Now, we all have different needs, but a lot of them are universal. You need to make sure that you have daily time to pray. That is not only building your relationship with God, it's taking care of yourself. You need to make sure that you have a little bit of alone time if that is your personality. And it is my personality. I have kids asking me questions all day, hanging on me, and then my very extroverted husband comes home and wants to talk my ear off. And it's wonderful. I'm glad that he wants to share with me, but I need time to myself too. And I can get crabby. And you know how it is when you try to accomplish things and you're not healthy and you haven't been taking care of yourself, you don't accomplish anything. You sit there and be crabby and spin your wheels and your mood gets worse. So find a way through the schedule, through the daily docket, to take care of your needs first. Now, if you are still wondering how exactly this can play out in your life, I don't blame you. It takes a lot of reflection and takes some time to figure these things out. I'd like to help you though, if you're willing. I have a free 7-day e-course for Catholic mothers that really examines these priorities that I just went through really quickly, examines how we need to order them in our day, what exactly they mean, how to set up a lifestyle that can sustain these priorities, and not only give you more time for yourself, but make you holier, make you a better wife, because you actually think of your husband and he in turn will think of you, and not just the mayhem of raising babies. So if you'd like to take that, it's completely free. There's a link to it below this video. The course is called Reclaim the Day, because that's exactly what it did for me. It's exactly what it's done for so many other women. Get out of the chaos, reclaim your day, and live better. And so friends, I hope that this gave you some ideas. I hope that you feel inspired and optimistic that you are going to find time to pray, that you are going to find time to take care of yourself, and that through all of these things, you're not going to go to bed at night thinking, I didn't get anything done. If only there was a couple more hours. If only I didn't need to sleep. You're going to feel refreshed and positive that you have time to do things you need to do, because you know your schedule, you know when things happen, and there's so much freedom in that. And so I would really love it if you liked this video, and if you commented below this video on kind of like what your major struggle is in the day. Is it that you don't have time to take care of yourself, that you don't have time to pray, that you don't have time for your husband? But what is that kind of thing that you aren't making time to do? We all have something. Even if we're deep in the work of scheduling and daily dockets, there's still something that we need to work on. So once again, I'm Nancy from Catholic Sprouts. I would love it if you subscribe to this channel and stuck around for the future videos. And also, if you went over and checked out the daily podcast for Catholic kids called Catholic Sprouts. It is my passion to teach children the Catholic faith and to support their parents. So I will see you soon, but until then, I'd like to invite you to join me in the good but humble work of doing small things with great love. I'll see you soon.